Hey, my name is Spuun. Pokemon born, Pokemon bred, and when I die, I'll be Pokemon dead. I'm a competitive Pokemon player, meaning I sit at my computer for hours at a time on Showdown just for that sweet, sweet elo. I do this because playing in-game Pokemon is no longer fun. I need a challenge. Pokemon Emerald Rogue has actually been the most fun I've ever had playing in-game. I managed to beat a run from a new save file. I started with Heracross, and here's my thought process from there. As I head into Route 1, I know I need to be selective about what I add to the team. You're only given 5 Pokeballs to use, and you can only get more by finding random items or buying them at the mart. But in order to buy stuff from the mart, you need money. And you start with $0. In order to remedy this, I try to battle the trainers early on, before they get harder. Trust me, they do get harder. The first Pokemon I found on this route is sus, so we vote the imposter out. Real OU players uphold species clause at all costs. I battled this guy for money, catch a Spheal, and then I am graced by this Pokemon. And I catch it. It's pretty important to have a setup sweeper in this kind of game if you want any sort of consistency. Clefable is perfect for this because it gets Calm Mind, Cosmic Power, and a form of recovery to keep itself safe. From here, I just need to fill out my team with whatever else I can find. On Route 2, I catch a Kabuto. I also find a shiny Delibird, a bad Pokemon, but this one is homeless and bald, so I decide to let it on the team. The first gym leader is a bird type. Lucky for me, I have an ice type Pokemon, so I go ahead and lead with it. Not so lucky for me, that ice type is a Spheal, which dies to 2 Razor Leaves without dealing much damage back. I then go into Kabuto on a grass type, stupidly thinking my rock type fossil Pokemon might potentially have a rock type move to use. Silly me. Heracross, my Pokemon with a 4 times weakness to flying, cleans up from here, because it is a better Pokemon than I am a player. Maybe this is why I can't break 2000 elo. On the route after the gym, I only have 3 Pokemon left in my party, so I catch a Natu, a Ralts, and a Tentacool. Natu and Ralts evolve, but more importantly, so does Cleffa. We dreamed of creating the world's strongest Pokemon, and we're just 1 Moonstone away. I spend all of my money on buying the Fire Blast TM, and teach it to Clefairy. Then, I head over to the next gym. I didn't know who I'd be facing, so I led with the most disposable Pokemon. Watson kills my bald baby and my Kirlia before Heracross is able to sweep through another gym. To start the healing process of my team, I catch a Rattata. Heracross finally gets its first stab move here, so it should be able to continue to carry me. Xatu also learns Wish, which is going to let me keep my team healthy between each route without having to use stupid, stinky, expensive items. Rattata evolves, and Tentacool becomes Tentacooler. I catch this, hoping it lives to become a Flygon. Of course, when I gave it an inch, it took a Trap Mile, and evolved into Vibrava immediately. I run into my first powerful Pokemon on this next route, which is supposed to have a nice competitive moveset, so I'm excited. Unfortunately, I didn't have the required amount of neurons firing to solve this puzzle, so after 25 minutes, a buddy of mine finally just looked up the answer and told me. I was never a child. I didn't have to do these kinds of things growing up. Finally, a Deoxys shows up. I black out, and when I awaken, it's dead. It seems in your anger, you posted cringe. I move on to battle Roxanne. She doesn't want to waste time, so she gives me a free guts boost, and Heracross sweeps her team. The only notable thing to happen before the next gym is Vibrava becoming useful. Its evolution timing is impeccable, as the next gym leader is Flannery. Magmar and Ninetales go down to an earthquake, and I can feel a sweep incoming. That is, until the AI counter-teamed me with Choice Scarf, Hidden Power Ice, Houndoom. Flannery definitely did her homework. So after making the worst trade deal, Tentacruel and Xatu work together to earn me my 4th badge. To begin the next route, I replace Fire Blast with Moon Blast on Clefairy, rendering the life savings I spent on the TM earlier useless. She is worth it. I catch the Trash type Eevee, then immediately find a better Fire type. Moltres breaks free from the first Pokeball I toss, so I kill it. We do not negotiate with terrorists. I then battle a normal man. You may notice Heracross begins this battle burnt. On the route before, a trainer used Will-O-Wisp on it. I decided not to heal the burn so I could go into this gym with a Guts boost. Yeah, I'm a competitive player. How could you tell? Anyway, Heracross died in one hit to a Choice Scarf Imposter Ditto. I've had enough. I set up 6 Cosmic Power Boosts, try to hit a Dark-type Kecleon with a Psychic-type move, then use Clefairy's stored power to defeat Norman. To replace Heracross, I catch an Altaria, and to keep it company, I replace Bad Eevee with the Dragonair. Dragonair evolves, and I use an ability patch to give it multi-scale. Bulky setup sweepers are the name of the game. The next gym leader is Juan, and I have to let something die to his Walrein. I decide Altaria is the best fit for this, as it has Dragon Dance and no physical moves. I consider this a mercy killing. Raticate is almost useful, then Dragonite comes in to finish off Juan. Scald didn't burn, proving I've earned this badge. Flygon returns to me in the next route, now sporting the moveset of a 1300s ranked player. I also catch a Sandslash, for fun. A wild Charizard refuses to be caught and kills my Xatu. It had to be put down for its crimes. I catch a Disciple of Seismitoad and give the whole squad leftovers like it's Gen 2 OU. I challenge Tate and Liza, and Dragonite puts me at an early advantage by scoring 2 kills with Outrage. I don't want to risk its life when it gets confused, so I have to let Tentacruel die. Sandslash also goes down to their Metacham, which opens up my 3rd grade Flygon to finish them off. With that, I'm ready to face the final gym. It's rewind time as I find another Heracross. I catch it, and my team begins to resemble how it did before the Flannery incident. I also catch a Haunter, with plans to use Destiny Bond for a free 1-for-1 trade versus a tough opponent. It dies to a random trainer instead, completing only half of the desired trade. I catch a spawn of Seismitoad, and then trade him to a shady looking guy on the black market for whatever mysteries he has in his bag. Luck favors me as I pull a Starmie out of the sack. Then, it finally happens. Clefairy transcends her mortal bounds and becomes unto a god. I finally use my free heal, then begin my battle with Brawly. I gamble again with Starmie and lose, then let Clefable do her thing and earn the final gym badge. I make a crucial mistake before fighting the first member of the Elite Four and forget to hit the level cap. This puts me at a fairly substantial stat disadvantage. It doesn't end up mattering, because Clefable puts the team on her back once again and sweeps the Mono Darkness with her Fairy Stab. I am fortunate this time that I had the type advantage, but I need to focus up and limit my errors. I had no Pokeballs, so I start the battle with Phoebe with only 5 Pokemon. The anime Flygon moveset actually has some use here, as I'm able to use Sandstorm to counter her Shedinja lead. From there, Swampert uses Earthquake, and Clefable cleans up again. My bulky offense team has had an incredible late game run. The next route begins with the capture of a Dustox. This random trainer battle had a fun UI glitch. Then I prepare to battle the next Elite Four member, Drake. You know what that means. Clefable time! This battle actually gets a little scary when he busts out a fucking Rayquaza, but it's nothing the GOAT can't handle. My Fairy type once again carries me, and I move on to the final Elite Four member. The final Elite Four member is Glacia. Because I don't have a good switch into Ice type still, I have to let Swampert die here. May he reincarnate as a Temple in his next life. This sacrifice gives Heracross a safe way in, where it can click close combat until Glacia runs out of Pokemon. Now all I need to do is defeat the champion. On my final route before the champion, I find a Lantern, and it manages to survive an attack on single-digit health. You have impressed me, Lantern. Join my cause. I buy more leftovers from the Pokemart than I get on Christmas, and my parents are divorced. Now, I am ready to battle Wallace. I fuck around, and he finds out that I have a Clefable. I actually just sit here and click Cosmic Power 6 times to ensure my Clefable cannot die and that she is able to output insane damage with stored power. Clefable, the absolute legend, overwhelms Wallace and won me my final battle. Kind of an anticlimactic finish to the run, huh? Sadly, clicking Cosmic Power 6 times every battle is not conducive to a very quick victory. I make it look easy, but this was 4 actual human hours into the run. Steven Stone is the final boss. Because of my battle with Wallace, my hubris has been inflated, and I'm going to try to go through this without losing a single Pokemon. Steven leads with Registeel, which fails to withstand my choice-banded Flygon's Earthquake. He retaliates with Latios to revenge kill me, but I switch into the Goat, who is immune to Draco Meteor. I play it safe and just scout his next play with Moonblast, as he expertly switches to Magneton to resist. Despite this, I get a skillful crit, putting Steven in a very bad position. I need to switch into Lantern to tank a Flash Cannon, and fire off a Hydro Pump to defeat the Magneton. Steven brings out an Aggron, but Lantern outspeeds it and kills it in one hit with Hydro Pump. Now, Steven sends out a Mew. This Pokemon can do just about anything, and it's impossible to predict. I go ahead and switch into Dustox, just to scout how he decides to play with it. I'm a genius. He uses Misty Explosion, which is not very effective and only deals 37 damage. Steven sends out another horrifying Pokemon, and Jirachi tricks Dustox a Choice Scarf, locking it into Quiver Dance. I'm forced to switch, so I go into Flygon to use Earthquake, but he actually predicts that and clicks U-turn going into his Latios. Latios outspeeds me, and I'm forced to go back into the Goat to eat another Draco Meteor. I'm pretty impressed by the AI here. Switching is the competitive experience. Knowing he can't stay in, I make a double switch into my Flygon, and Jirachi comes back. I try to get cute here, and I click U-turn instead of Earthquake, because I think the AI will switch into Latios. Of course, he plays it safe instead, and sets up a Wish. I am forced back into Flygon now, as Ironhead does a huge chunk of damage. I just click Earthquake on what's in front of me, and the Menace Jirachi goes down. Steven is down to his final Pokemon. Like I said, I'm not letting anything die, so I go into Clefable to scout his Latios' move. He fires off a Choice Specs Psychic, and I know the OU Goat isn't the answer I wanted it to be for this Pokemon. Then I remember something. I gave Dragonite Multiscale earlier, so I'm hoping that defense boost can be enough. Psychic does a ton of damage, and I'm starting to think I have to let something faint. The second Psychic hits Dragonite, and I live. Dragonite uses Outrage, and victory is mine. Steven actually seemed to have the best AI in the game, so I'll say he was a worthy final opponent. As it turns out, the key to my success was the friends we made along the way. Or pretty much any setup sweeper, with enough speed or bulk to overwhelm and outlast the opponents. Up to you. I had a ton of fun making this, and even more so playing the game. Props to the creator, PokeAbby. She did a fantastic job, and I know I'll be back for more. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Your input can only make me more powerful. I might do more runs of this game in the future, or I might never play it again. I've got something neat planned for my next video, so look forward to that in the near future. As always, I will spoon you later.